Welcome to the This Mum Loves Tech podcast, the go-to show for female business owners who want to simplify tech and get the support they need to grow their online businesses with confidence. I'm Nicola Walsh, your podcast host. I'm also a mum to two cheeky boys and I love tech, so you don't have to. I'm here to share actionable tips, tools and strategies that will help you streamline your business and make the tech work for you. So whether you're watching after the kids have gone to bed or listening while on the school run, let's dive into today's episode and make tech that little bit easier. Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of This Mum Loves Tech. I've got another brilliant guest with me today and a fellow mum who loves tech, and that is Lisa Smith from Activ Digital Marketing. Lisa, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you, Nicola. Good morning. The sun is shining on us today, so hopefully.
Yes, I don't know how many more days of that we're going to have, but well, obviously it's great to meet a fellow mum who loves tech. So tell us a little bit about, in particular, who you are, what do you do, and the tech that you love.
Well, as you just said, I'm Lisa, and I run Activ Digital Marketing in North Essex with Reese, my husband. That normally stops people in their tracks. They're like, "Oh my God, you work with your husband!" But I come from a family where my parents worked with each other, so I didn't think there was anything strange about that until we started doing it. But luckily for us, it's worked out. We've been working together for about 28 years now, and we're still married, and we still share the same office. And we run Activ Digital Marketing, which is a digital marketing agency. We're a franchise, so we run the North Essex area. And we support mainly local, but businesses all over the country with SEO, which is what I'm going to be talking about mainly, but all things digital marketing, so websites and etc. etc.
So that's really interesting. I didn't realise that you can get franchises in things like that, because when you think of franchises, you think of
McDonald's.
Yeah, or like in terms of like small businesses like child's classes and
Yes, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and maybe being representatives of different, like Tropic and Avon and all that.
Yeah.
Like, so I didn't realise that it works for tech as well. So that's super interesting.
Yeah, we are the only marketing franchise. I believe that's still right. So we're a bit unique in that way. But yeah, this is part of our backstory is that I started working with Reese once I'd had my girls. So I'm at the other end of being a mum who loves tech, because my girls are 28 and 26 now. So the other end of the journey compared to you with your boys. Yeah. But I started working with Reese when the second was born. I was very lucky that I was able to take up an offer of redundancy from a job in the city. His business, which is a graphic design business, was taking off. So we took the plunge and started working together. And that was 28 years ago. And after a while, some of his clients started asking him for these newfangled things called websites. They'd heard about them and wondered if they should have one. Those were the days where they were just like a little static screen in the middle of your screen. So we learnt a new skill, went away and learnt how to do those, and realised quite quickly that we needed support. There's so much more than what a website looks like. And then we looked around and there were website franchises, but Reese was absolutely adamant that it had to be a franchise where we built the sites and designed them. Quite a lot of franchises at that time you sold on. You were a salesman. So you sold a template. If an accountant wanted an accountant's website, you picked one off a shelf and there it was. And he was having, quite rightly, none of that as a designer. And Activ were just one of very few at the time. In fact, the only one I think that gave you that freedom, that gave you the tech support, which was very important. So the servers, the hosting, helping us all maintain that, but also allowed the design freedom. So that's why we went with them, and the rest, they say, is history. That was 16 years ago now.
Oh, 16. So you worked together for a while, not doing that.
Yeah, 28 years ago. These website things weren't something that small businesses had any clue about. So
it just proves how much tech has changed over the last 20 odd years, because like you said, it wasn't even something when you started working together that the reason you were
No,
working together.
it wasn't on the radar.
Yeah, it's something that people started asking for, that you then had to learn how to do to kind of keep up with demand and also get ahead of the game, really. Like you probably quite early on then in the
we really were, and that's when we realized being a franchise would suit us, because there's just two people, you can't do everything, and you have to appreciate that. And for us, the important thing was the customer facing service, providing that really, really good customer service that we were known for. But we couldn't do all that and be expected to keep up with the tech and be expected to be around 24/7, because the website's open 24/7. So we needed that support, and that's as I say, how we got into the franchise.
So taking it back to SEO, because I know that's something that lots of people need help with, need understanding, and need making simple, because a lot of people complicate it. So yeah, what would you say most people get wrong or misunderstand about SEO?
The one thing I hear the most is, oh, I've had my SEO done. And I have to just very gently say, you don't think you have, because it's never done. And that can be really daunting for people to hear. And I think that is one of the things that makes people think it's really, really complicated, and it's, something that they shy away from. When you say it, you have to be doing it continually. It's never just done. But yeah, I think that's the one common misconception I hear. Oh, it's okay, that was done a few years ago. Yeah, afraid not.
Yeah, because it's obviously you can do it, as in you can set it up, but it's looking at, is it actually working for you? Because there's no point if you've got keywords in there and you're not ranking on anything.
Yeah, and they're not right, the correct keywords, or they're far too ambitious. And as a small business, you're never going to hope to rank for them. And also, I guess it leads into the other misconception that it's not the job of a search engine to deliver customers to a client's website. That isn't their job. And lots of people think when they have a website and they have a business and they're looking at SEO, they think that's what, so search engines should be sending people to me. It's not the search engine's job. The search engine's job is to give its client, which is the searcher, the best experience and the best result. And so that means it's giving the searcher the most appropriate result, the most relevant result. It doesn't give a hoot what website that happens to be. It just has to be the best one for the searcher. And that's where people need to sort of flip and think, yeah, the search engine's job is to give the best result for the searcher. So therefore, SEO is to make sure that my website could be that best result.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way of reframing, actually, because that is the good thing about SEO, is it kind of is a level playing field in terms of if you are the right search, you could show up before a bigger brand or a more well-known brand. Obviously, the more established you are and the more hits you've got to your website and all that kind of stuff factor in as well. But the fact is that it's not something, it doesn't work the same way as like a social media algorithm, where it's to do with likes and follower accounts and all that kind of jazz, and the bigger accounts get better reach and all that kind of thing. It is to do with, like you said, does what I am providing the best solution for this person's question?
Yes, exactly that. Yeah. And how do I convince the search engine of that? And that is where you come back to the continual work. And you do get a little bit like the likes and the follows. Part of what we do with SEO is looking to bring links into a website. So from other places around the internet, those links that come back to that website. Because if we give a really easy example, if you've got a skip hire company in Great Dunmow, where I live, then you want lots of links that talk about skip hire in Great Dunmow elsewhere around the internet that come back to your website.
Right.
Provide like we call it a spider's web. So it's building up those external links that come back to your website so that search engines find you elsewhere and say, oh, I'm back at this website again. oh, I'm back at this website again. Oh, that, let's have a look what's going on this website or is relevant for that term. So that's where the part of the continual work comes in, with the link building and the content building, so that there is content for search engines to say, yeah, okay, you are what you say you are. You are providing what people are looking for.
Yeah, and I think with the digital world, nothing is ever done. So SEO is just another one of those things that is never done.
And also, we're always playing catch up, because at the end of the day, we don't know, a bit like the recipe for Heinz beans, we don't know what the algorithms are completely. And we tend to talk about Google most of the time with search, because basically if you get things right for Google, you're pretty much getting it right for any other search engines. And they do offer advice and help and insights into what they're looking for, but they don't give you the full recipe. Absolutely not. So we're always playing catch up. There's always changes. And you think, okay, those things don't seem to be producing the results they were before. What do we need to change now? What are they looking for?
Yeah, and they update the rules all the time. So
exactly.
Yeah. So why is getting the SEO right so important for online business owners and for your website?
It's something I'm particularly passionate about, because I've come across so many people who've wasted so much time and money where they are not being found, and they think that they've had SEO done, and then you find that actually their website's lacking the basics. So without the fundamentals in place, without the foundation, you can be spending out for someone to create some links for you, to create content to link back to. But if you haven't got the foundations in place, you're banging your head against a brick wall. And it really frustrates me that people pay for services that aren't going to have a hope of producing results, or are going to take much longer to produce results, because the foundations aren't in place. So I'm sorry, I've gone off tangent now. I completely forgot what the question was. But for me, SEO starts with get it right at the beginning, and then see what that brings you, and then look about how you can grow.
Yeah, and I think, because I've seen, like, we've gone to help people with their websites and looked, and they don't have any SEO. Like, they haven't even got like a H1 title or the
exactly.
Like, and I'm like, I just
I'm talking, trying to keep it vague, talking to someone at the moment who approached me in a pub and said that they had a website and it doesn't appear on Google, and they've had it for a while. And I was like, well, okay, that seems quite strange. I'll take a look. And I looked, and there is just nothing behind the scenes of this website for Google to have any idea what this business is about at all. And I was like, well, yeah, now I understand what you mean, and you're not going to appear because it looks good, but there's nothing there. It's an empty vessel. So
yeah, there's no use to having something that just looks pretty. It's got to function as well.
It's got to function, yeah.
So without giving too much away, obviously I said already that you're coming into the membership to deliver this masterclass on SEO. So without giving too much away, what can people expect? Like, what kind of things are you going to cover? Because, like, what level is it at? Like, is it for people that already have SEO on their website, or is it for people that really need to kind of get that basic understanding?
Hopefully a bit of both. I'm going to start with the basic understanding, because sometimes I think people can get really far down the line without really having that. And it's a bit like the Emperor's New Clothes. Nobody wants to say, oh, I don't really know what it is or why I'm doing it, but I've been told to do this. So I am going to start at the beginning with just a really brief, this is what it is. And these are the things that you need to check that you have in place as absolute fundamentals. And you've alluded to a couple of them: H1 tags, meta descriptions. I'm going to cover all that, but also hopefully give people who might be a little bit further on and might already know that a bit of a refresher, but a bit of a way to understand why those things are important, and then how they can use them to move things forward.
Yeah, brilliant. Because I think, like, I was literally just looking at someone's website the other day, and she was like saying, oh, I'm getting lots of traffic through my Google My Business listing. Like, people are contacting me through there, but people aren't going through the website. And I looked at her website, and she's got some great pages on there, but yeah, it was that thing. She hadn't got any SEO actually set up. So I was like, well, that's why they're not coming to you from your website. So I think it's going to be really important for people to get those basics and understand why they're important, because it's all very well people are like, you need to do SEO website. It's like, yeah, okay. Yeah. But actually, why is it important and how do you do it? Like, because it's not as complicated. Yeah. It's not as complicated as you think it is.
No, it's like I think it's like most things. If you sit down and you have a plan and you know why you're doing it, it does demystify it a bit. And I'm hopefully that's what the masterclass will do. Will demystify it a bit, because it shouldn't be scary. You know, it is something that you have to invest time and money if you want to outsource it. But you have to invest in. But it shouldn't be something that frightens you or that you just don't do because it's too difficult. You know, it's something that you have to do as a small business owner with a website. You need to, at the very least, like I say, get the foundations in place.
Yeah, because like you said, otherwise you won't then show up on Google, and then all that hard work of putting that website together kind of is a bit pointless. It's a bit pointless,
yeah. If you're not, you know, if people are even searching for your business name and they're not finding you, then why? Well, you know, what's gone wrong? What's happened? And it can be easily fixable.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, if you are worried, these things can all be fixed, these things can all be changed, because it is digital. It can always be updated. It's not like you've made a massive spelling mistake on a banner that's now out there and you can't change it.
We've all been there.
Yeah. Yes, I'm sure your husband moves to graphic design. Definitely.
Yeah. Who proofread that?
Yeah. But that's the great thing, is with the digital world, you can go in and you can change those things, and you can keep improving it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is one of the questions I get a lot sometimes is, I search my business and I see this in the search result. How do I change that? And you know, they're the sort of things hopefully that people pick up.
Brilliant. So as a fellow mum that loves tech, can I pin you down to a favorite tech tool, or is there just too many?
Oh, there's so many. But I did have a bit of advance warning of this question, didn't I? So I've obviously chosen an SEO tool, and it's one that we use within our hosting platform, and it's an SEO plugin, and it comes with an advisory note. I would say to people, putting an SEO plugin in your website is not enough. So, and that is another thing that happens. Somebody did my SEO for me. They've enabled this plugin. It's not enough. Tech still needs you to give it some information. But we use one called Smart Crawl, and we use the pro version as something we're able to give to all our clients. And it's really important to me, because it can give me a quick way of saying, right, I need to check. Have we got the fundamentals in here? Are we checking? Yeah, we need to check every page, titles, descriptions, headers, etc. It gives me a quick way to do that, and a way to be able to keep an eye on things, so that if they do need tweaking, I can go into the tool and I can easily see what is where, what do I need to tweak. It just makes my life a little bit easier. It doesn't do the SEO. That's the common misconception, but it just helps to move things along a little bit. So.
Yeah, and I think that's an important thing to say as well, that like all this tech still needs human input. You know, obviously we've got all of the AI and all that kind of stuff, but still it needs you to input something. It can't, if you're just letting it do it itself, it's going to do a bad job, because it needs you to put in some information.
Yeah, it really will. It won't do the job for you. It helps you do the job.
Yes, all these tools are like enablers and supporters. They're not there to take over.
No.
As much as like some people are worried that it is going to take over, but it's not, because it still needs someone to input stuff in the first place.
Yeah, and it needs someone with some knowledge. So it needs a business owner with knowledge of their business to talk to someone with knowledge about search engines and SEO, and to put those things together to then be able to use a tool effectively.
So yeah, that's great. And obviously you said a bit about doing websites and all that kind of stuff. So what kind of services do you support people with at Activ Digital Marketing?
Lots. Mainly websites and SEO. That's our core, if you like. Mainly because the business started as a website and SEO franchise, but it's evolved, and we've always had the graphic design side of things because of Reese. He's been doing graphic design for, he hates it when I say it, 50 years. Now we've got it on a podcast. He's going to hate that. But we do also help with all digital marketing. So we can dive into the realms of social media marketing, marketing plans, paid ads, that sort of thing, anything around marketing. But our if you like, bread and butter and what I really enjoy doing is the websites and the SEO, because that's how we started. That's my longest clients have been with me, because they came to us for those services, and they're the things where I love that I'm hands-on day to day, making a difference for people when I'm working with them. So
yeah, and because obviously we've spoken before and we've met about how you do the whole thing. You host it for people, you update it for people. Yeah. You don't just leave people with their website.
No. So with being a part of a franchise, I like to think we give people the best of both worlds. So our clients deal with myself, they deal with Reese. We know them, we know their names, we know their businesses. They email us, they phone us. We don't have a ticket system. They don't have to, if they get in touch, have to explain who they are, what their issue is to someone new each time. It's always us, unless, because of the franchise, we happen to have a holiday, which is nice. We do like to take a holiday if we can. And then they know that if there's something urgent that they need dealing with, there is somebody there. They're not just left with this critical part of their business that might have something that needs dealing with that's a time pressure or time sensitive. They've got to wait for me to come back off holiday. They don't, and there's support there. And I'm securing that support as well, meaning that I can take a break from the business, which everyone needs to be able to do. But yeah, with what we provide, it is that whole, we will design the website, we'll build the website, and we'll build it properly so that we're looking at SEO from the first point of when we start to build, both visually and technically. And then once the website's live, we provide hosting. It's our own environment, so only Activ websites are hosted on our servers, so we know exactly what's there. So you're not living on a server where you've got no idea what other websites are going to be on there and what potential bugs that could come in from those, or issues where you're with a website that might get hacked, and then that affects the whole server for everybody on it. By having only our websites on our server, we can really dial down on the security. We take care of everything in the background, so updating WordPress, updating the plugins, making sure there's no conflicts. We're going through a round at the moment where WordPress have done a big overhaul, and there's some plugins that they now no longer will say are okay. So we're going through and we're taking care of all that. We're quietly in the background, taking one plugin away, replacing it with another, making sure that everything remains secure, so clients don't have to worry about that. And then, yes, if they want us to, we can do updates for them as well. We can give clients access. Some like to be really hands-on. They love the tech, so they can have access to the content management system if they want and do their own updates. But equally, we're happy to do updates as well.
Yeah, so it's a whole, literally, you look after the whole digital home of someone's business.
Yes, so they can carry on running their business and know that, we've got their back, if you like.
Brilliant. So where can people find out a bit more about you and what you do?
Clearly on my website. So are you going to put a link to that?
Yeah, in the show notes I'll put all the links. Yeah.
It's activdmnorthessex.com. That's the best place to get in touch with me. I'm on Facebook as well, so they can find me on there, LinkedIn. And yeah, what we always say is we are digital marketers. We're not salespeople, so anyone can call me and have a chat. I'm not ever going to push someone and be really salesy. So there's, I'm always happy to chat. As you know, it's my downfall. I love a chat. But yeah, we're not. I'm always excited to work with new people, but I would never pressure anyone who just wanted to have a conversation and see, maybe even just ask for some advice. We're always happy to do that.
Brilliant. And I know, because we've obviously met through networking, and networking is a big part of your business as well. You love to network and meet people and talk to them and really get to know them and their business.
And and I like to think that our approach is very relaxed. We like, we do the www websites without waffle, the no jargon. We are, genuinely two people running a small business. We know what it's like. So we like to have just a friendly, relaxed approach with our clients, so that they know they can just come to us and ask anything at any time. And people who aren't clients as well. And I like to think because of that, I've had people come to me who I met 5 years ago as a client 5 years later, because they've just remembered, oh yeah, we had a chat, that was easy, now's the time, sort of thing. So yeah,
brilliant. Well, thank you so much for our chat. I've really enjoyed
good to see you
having this talk. And if you would like Lisa's masterclass, she's going to be covering the SEO basics, why a website and alone will not get you found. And I think we've highlighted some of the reasons why just having a pretty website is not enough. Understanding SEO, and it doesn't have to be scary or complicated, will help you get found on Google and get found by your clients, which is the whole point of having a website in the first place.
It is indeed.
So all the links underneath, so the links to connect with Lisa, to join the membership, will all be in the show notes. And I know, Lisa, this is you're not used to doing things like this and doing podcasts. So I want to say a huge thank you for coming on the podcast. It's been a brilliant chat today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, Nicole.
And thank you everyone for joining this episode of This Mum Loves Tech. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of This Mum Loves Tech. If you're ready to save time and cut through the overwhelm when it comes to the tech and the tools your business really needs, don't forget to grab my free time-saving tech checklist. It's a super simple checklist that shows you what tools are, I believe, essential for your business, what can wait, and what you may have signed up to that you're not actually using. Download your copy at thismumlovestech.co.uk/checklist and start making the tech work for you. You can also find the link in the show notes below, and I'll see you in the next episode.